Good morning, and thank you for joining us here today as the town of North Hempstead locks arms to encourage organ donation and save lives. April is National Donate Life Month across the country, but our efforts won't end simply when the month ends, because the town of North Hempstead is committed to encouraging more Long Islanders to become life-saving donors. In New York State alone, there are nearly 8,000 people currently on the life-saving transplant list, and over 100 of them are children under 18 years old. This is a public health crisis with no easy answer, and often it becomes a waiting game. Sadly, around 500 New Yorkers die each year waiting for their would-be transplant. Nassau County is still among the lowest rates in the country, with only 40% of residents as registered organ donors. We can do better. We will do better. And that's why we're here today, to continue raising awareness for organ donations, starting right here in North Hempstead.
I'd like to begin, we're here today to honor all donors, both living and deceased, and the gift of life that they have given other individuals. 2024 was actually a record year for transplantation in the United States, where 48,000 transplants occurred in the U.S., which was almost 20,000 more than 10 years prior. So the numbers are increasing. 7,000 of those were from living donors, and the other 41,000 from deceased donors. But despite this, our wait list is large. There are 115,000 people in the United States waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, and over 8,000 in New York alone. So I'd like to encourage donation, and I've left you with a lot of numbers, but I want to leave the most important number, which is one. One donor can save up to 8 lives. One person, as a living donor, can impact the life of their family member, their friend, their coworker, their neighbor, or even an absolute stranger.
Chronic kidney disease affects about 15% of the population. And unfortunately, the vast majority of people, over 50% of those with chronic kidney disease, don't even know they have it. And what I really want to encourage people is, if you know you have kidney disease, start thinking about organ transplantation as early as possible. A kidney transplant can more than double someone's lifespan compared to being on dialysis. It improves quality of life. And it's also cheaper. It's cheaper to take care of a transplant patient.
Happy April, happy Donate Life Month throughout the United States. And here on Long Island, we're so proud of all the efforts of everyone that has made such a significant difference in the numbers of lives that are being saved each and every day. And these are your neighbors, your families, your friends, and people you don't even know, and people you'll meet someday. The key thing is to talk about this with your family members, let them know your decision and the importance of saving a life.
They gave myself, who was only 13 years old, my last rites, and a family friend that was a priest. And I was very fortunate. There was a doctor here in Long Island that was affiliated with Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. And all I remember from that point on is when I got there, I woke up to all these doctors. Now I was only 13, and they told me I was going to need a heart transplant. I said, okay, sign me up, not exactly knowing what that meant. And days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. I ended up waiting there for 3 months and 1 day, and on July 6, 1996, a young boy named Matthew saved my life. If it wasn't for his mother, I would not be here today. I always said I wanted to meet my donor mom. I never knew what I would say to her, or how do you thank someone for giving you the greatest gift that you could receive, the gift of life. And I was able to meet her later on in life, and I actually met her February 14, 2015, and it was an amazing experience, because the first thing she did was place her head against my chest, and she said, "That's my boy," and she got to listen to her son's heartbeat again.